How about that OCG ban list, everybody? Oh my, make sure you guys smash the link crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more Oz content. I gotta tell you, this list was very, very juicy. The fact that I'm seeing people actually upset about Malice exiting out the door, people being scared of Metamorphosis. You know, I live in a timeline here where no matter what list or what change is going to happen, you're going to see parts of this community just crying on the floor for what appears to be no reason. So if you guys remember Engage coming back and, you know, the community, I saw more crying about it, and it was just irrelevant for the longest time. And I feel like that's how we're going to look at a lot of things on this list, reflecting on both their side of the game. And I mean, the Metamorphosis being one of those key components as well. You know, we've been fearful of Metamorphosis for years. We've looked at this card, we've said, hey, you know, Last Warrior from Another Planet, it's a floodgate, it's a broken card. Hey, you know, like, Cyber Twin is kind of broken. We're still boogeyman over slamming a level 8 into a Cyber Twin Dragon. But the problem is, it's going to 1, people. You still have to draw this card. Modern era Yu-Gi-Oh! Is too fast for a card like Metamorphosis to really make a difference, in my opinion. That's kind of where I'm sitting here right now. I want to be optimistic, and I want to be like, oh, hey, you know, like, it's Metamorphosis is going to make a difference. Yeah, and maybe like a couple of games where you thrust into it, especially summon a Cash Tira, and then make a Last Warrior from Another Planet, and your opponent somehow doesn't have an out for it. I can imagine that's going to be one of the very few scenarios where that's going to, you know, just go crazy for you. But that's a lot. Also means I have to play Cash Tira. So it's not going to happen. You also have to dedicate extra deck slots to this, which now means that you're taking away optimization from yourself. And that seems even worse off than we were before. So that's my takeaway. All right, we're scared for nothing. I think meta could go to 3, and it might not even make a dent. Now, there is the craziest thing of this whole list, and it's the OCG finally moving Maxx C to 1. This has been, you guys, if you paid attention to the OCG, you've read like some of the interviews from the players. They have hated Maxx C. Maxx C has been one of the cards that they have not liked at all. Most of the player base would rather play in TCG, and TCG players would rather mosey on over to the OCG. Yeah, grass is always greener on the other side. But they have not liked how Maxx C has warped the game. So to see Maxx C finally getting the punt, seeing Called by the Grave, seeing the Ash Blossom rotating behind all of this, seeing all of these changes happening pretty much at the same time, it really shows how bad Maxx C is for the game, but it also proves that Ash Blossom was held up on a pedestal. You know, I've talked to a few people about this. We've jokingly talked about, and I mean jokingly, totally nothing could possibly come from this. We've talked about in the past of, you know, Konami's eventually got to move these hand traps to 2 to get people to either look at other hand traps, or you got to move the old ones to 2 to start printing new ones. And the minute Ash Blossom goes to 2, you know, we're starting to look over at the horizon. You know, even with Dominus following up and going to 2 as well, you know, our eyes draw over to Konami. We're like, come on now. We know you're making Ash Blossom 2. You know you're gonna try to sell us another Ash Blossom or something similar to it. You kind of have to, in terms of power creep. It's just it's how it is. All right. Judging by the old list here, it looks like they're doing the same thing. But honestly, I gotta give it to the OCG. It really feels like they aim to clean things up, though. I think my major concern about this list is why they didn't choose to hit Herald and why they went after the pre-prep. I'm hoping that the TCG actually takes Herald out back and actually destroys. But the problem is, the OCG likes Herald being a dumping point for the Dogmatica deck. They really push the emphasis of Dogmatica being an actual toolbox option within their game. And once again, that's fine. You have to think about it, and you have to... I think that's okay for what they're trying to do. But the problem is like, pre-prep is enough. You took Yummy, you blew up the deck. There's not really... Yummy's not functioning anymore. I'm kind of curious if the TCG is going to do the same thing. Right now, we do need a list that is as nuclear as what I would call the OCG list, where you sent Malice back to the Stone Ages, you blew up Baguska, which was being an issue because of the rank 4 turbo deck. They just took all of the existing problems and they sent their format back while putting the Limit Overframe collection up on a pedestal and said, hey, this is where we're going from here. And it genuinely feels like a soft reset. Now, we have Asian English ban list tomorrow, from what I recall for the announcement for it. Konami America, I guess, is still in the office this week. So, if my fingers are as crossed as they can be, I cannot cross my toes, unfortunately, to hope for the 4-stack. But what I am hoping is, if Konami does go out of the office and doesn't give us a list, I think it's going to be catastrophic for a lot of people, just because players are going to be really upset, because every other aspect of this game, even Master Duel is finishing up their cup. That means Duel Links, OCG, Asian English. I've already said Master Duel will probably have a list at the end of the month. It's the same thing that they usually do. They'll finish up the Duelist Cup, and then they'll come through with the Wrecking Ball, create that. If the TCG leaves the office and doesn't make a list, I think players are going to be really disappointed. They're already coming off of the excitement right now of the whole campaign that we've got. I mean, you've got overframes, you've smashed them in, you said, hey guys, this is what's coming, we've got you. You need to fix this format. Look at what the OCG just did. And I understand Mitsurugi's not going to be checked on the capacity that we need it to be, but also Metamorphosis can come back here. I think it's fine. I guess the other elephant in the room is, does the TCG need to check Malice? I think that most players want to see Malice just kind of get checked. It's been a deck that, like, we bully with Lancia. It's just like, oh, hey, another Malice player, just fire this, board in the triple Lancia, and you take care of the deck. It's not really too big of an issue to think about. But I think, like, the major takeaways here are, Baguska's gone. I don't know, man. There so much have happened in the last 48 hours for this game that it feels like a completely different game. I played Shadal's last night. I think there was a misplay where we skipped the Mirror Jade part, but it is what it is. But I got to play with the new, the first card was my favorite here. I played that as a super poly target in Shadal's. That card is crazy to think about what it can actually do with super poly. I didn't actually think that a card like that would be that good. And it makes you want to test all the other stuff, but I mean, we're still processing the 30-40 card dump. So, I mean, we're set, people. Also, Blazing Dominion is still roaring out here. You can't forget that. Also, I guess final thing here, we do have a special tournament for Christmas Eve in our Discord server. It is going to be a revolving ban list, but we got, Kongs gave us some credit to give away to people. We have, pyramid playmats. There's a lot for this event, and we will be live streaming it. We're going to be having a good old time on Christmas Eve. It's something I'm looking forward to very, very much so, just to see the audience, see how everybody's doing, and just kind of to have a blast. So please, guys, I'll leave a link down below to our Discord server, and it's a good day. I'm tired. I'm doing my best. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.